I got to be 100% with you guys. You know that when somebody says that, nothing good is going to come out of their mouth. They're never going to say, I want to be 100%. I brought donuts. They're going to unload some shit on you that is going to relieve them of their guilt. So it's like they're going to say, I'm 100%. I clogged the toilet. I'm going to be 100%. I'm a lawyer. Let's just get out of your system. Boo! Lawyers! If I weren't a soulless lawyer, I think you might hurt my feelings. I'm just kidding. Lawyers are people. They're actual people. They have feelings. Yes. A lot of them are terrible. There are some psychopath lawyers I wouldn't let watch my dog. But there are some saints. A lot of saints. They do good work. They're really making the world a better place. And I had a vision when I was a young lawyer of being a saint. In law school, I signed up for a legal justice clinic where we were helping homeless people who were being taken advantage of by their shelter. They were kicking them out and stealing their stuff. So I interviewed a bunch of people and got their stories, and one guy was a veteran who had his prosthetic leg stolen. And I thought, what bastards? I'm gonna get these fuckers. And then I found out 2 days later that I had been notified that I was exposed to tuberculosis. And, you know, tuberculosis, it's like the old-timey, they called it consumption, where you cough into your handkerchief some blood and be like, ah, oh. And then you say things like, I'm your huckleberry. And then you die in your own fluids. And I was like, oh, man, this saint business is bullshit. What's next? I'm going to get, leprosy? So I was like, fuck this. I should rethink my career goals. Maybe I'd be a doctor. Their slogan is, do no harm. And that seems like a good bar to reach. Do no harm. Because I am not a psycho or a saint attorney. I'm a middle of the road, right over the plate attorney. If you've got a manageable problem, I've got some good advice for you, and I will help you out. I've got clients here tonight, and I've done good by them. But if you have a shit show of a problem, that's not my bag, baby. You need a psycho or a saint. But at least we can all gather together now, and it's official. The pandemic is over. Let's breathe a sigh of relief, and then inhale each other's breath. And now you know when the person next to you is coughing, you don't have to worry about it being COVID. It's just run-of-the-mill tuberculosis. But the thing about the pandemic was it was so fucking boring. There were a couple moments where it was kind of interesting, like riots and insurrections. But really, a lot of downtime. So I have some friends, some of them are here tonight, who decided we were going to play Dungeons and Dragons online. Which, as a dad, is a little weird when my kids are like, hey, Daddy, will you play with us? And I'm like, sorry, kids, I've got to go into my office and use a bad British accent while I pretend to be a wizard with a bunch of grown-ass men. So I played it for a couple of months, for a while, actually. It was fun. And then I got to be the dungeon master. So I'm in charge of everything, like the king nerd. And I had this dragon, and I was like, this dragon, it's got to have a big voice. So I found a filter, because we're doing this online, that allowed me to lower my voice super low, it's like chocolate rain. But I can't do it justice. My voice isn't that low. But the weird thing was I couldn't hear it. So I tried. I was Googling. It's Sunday night. I'm Googling all this shit. I can't hear it. How do I hear this voice? I couldn't hear it. I gave up. I went to bed. I woke up Monday morning, and I had a very important meeting on Zoom. My biggest client was meeting with me to meet with their biggest customer, who's in the UK, with their legal team and a bunch of executives to talk about the licensing deal we were about to do. We spent 30 minutes on this meeting. We talked about very important things: intellectual property rights, licensing, data ownership, and I made some very important points. And everyone kind of nodded along with me. It went very well. So At the end of the meeting, as we were wrapping up, I asked my client, I said, do you want to hang out afterwards and debrief? And she said, absolutely. And then the time everyone gets off the meeting, and I said, so what did you think? And she looks me right in the camera and she says, what the fuck is wrong with your voice? And I was like, wait, well, what do you mean? And then I look down and I see the little orange button and it's like on. And I realize this fucking dragon voice is still on. And I said, well, why didn't you tell me? And she goes, I'd never seen you talk to clients before. I didn't know if you were trying to intimidate them. Thank you very much, Portland.